Ash Path. My brother went into the woods 3 nights ago. He said he just wanted to walk, clear his head. The argument we had earlier wasn't anything serious, just the usual. I told him not to stay out late. He told me I wasn't his father. Then he grabbed his flashlight and headed out the back of the house toward the trees. The path starts just behind our rice field, winding into the forest like a crack in the earth. It's narrow, packed with dry dirt, and barely wide enough for 2 people to walk side by side. We'd used it as kids to get to the river, to escape chores, to run away from things we didn't want to face. But that was before we noticed the footprints. That came later. At the time, it was just a shortcut. That night, I stayed up waiting for him. I sat by the window, watching the edge of the trees. The light in our kitchen flickered once, but I didn't think much of it. It gets like that when the humidity climbs. But the silence felt thicker than usual. No wind, no insects, no dogs barking in the distance. Just stillness. By midnight, he hadn't returned. I tried calling, but there was no signal. I told myself he probably fell asleep somewhere by the river, maybe with friends. But my gut wouldn't settle. When I finally stepped outside and walked to the forest's edge, the path looked different. It was darker than it should have been. And when I pointed my flashlight at the ground, I saw them. Footprints in ash. My brother's sandals left clear impressions. Size, tread, spacing. They led into the woods, not overlapping, not back and forth, just in. The strange part was how clean they looked. Like each step had burned away a perfect outline in pale gray powder. And there were no footprints coming out. I didn't follow them that night. Instead, I went back home and told myself he'd show up in the morning. Maybe dirty, maybe hungover, maybe with some wild story. But he'd return. He didn't. By the second day, I told the others. A few men from the village helped search. We brought flashlights and sticks and walked the path until the trees swallowed the sun. The footprints were still there. Still ash. Still only going one way. Halfway down the trail, the wind shifted. It wasn't cold, but it smelled wrong. Not rot, not decay. Something dry, like old firewood, like incense long after it's gone out. One of the men, a neighbor who had known our family for years, refused to go any farther. Said he suddenly couldn't remember why he was there. He turned around and left without a word. That night, I sat at the edge of the path until almost dawn. No sound, no light. And then I saw them. Footprints, not walking in, coming out. Soft prints forming in the dirt as if someone invisible was retracing my brother's steps. No one was there, but the footprints were fresh. The air above them shimmered faintly, like heat rising from concrete. Each step landed exactly where his had gone in. Exactly. But there was no weight, no pressure, just the outline. By the time the sun rose, the prints had reached the edge of the village and stopped. I followed them, crouching low, heart pounding. That's when I noticed something stranger. The ash wasn't just sitting on the ground. It had sunk in, like it had become part of the dirt, as if the path itself had recorded the steps, not just marked them, but absorbed them. My brother's footsteps didn't come back, only their echo. The village grew quiet after that. No one talked about it. No one asked questions. But every night, I went back. The prints kept coming. Not just one pair anymore. New ones. Different sizes. Some smaller, some larger. Always starting deep in the woods, appearing step by step, and ending at the edge of the trees. Always in ash. Always without a body. No one saw them form, but they were always there by morning. I tried placing objects in the way, rocks, sticks, anything to break the line. The prints stepped around them, deliberately, like whoever or whatever was walking knew I was watching. One night, I stayed on the path as long as I could, flashlight in hand, waiting. Nothing. I blinked just once, and the prints were ahead of me. Closer. Still no sound, no presence, just that soft, crumbling trail of gray. I ran home. The next day, the path had changed again. The dirt had lightened. Not gray, not white. Ash-colored. The trees were quieter now. The birds didn't come near. Even the dogs stayed away. The whole village began to lean away from that direction, as if the earth itself had tilted slightly, warning us to look elsewhere. But I couldn't. My brother never came back. His shoes were never found. No body. No bones. Just those footsteps. A perfect trail that leads in. And a hollow trail that walks out. Now, I hear them before I see them. Not the footsteps. The breath. A soft, slow exhale. One for every print. As if something's remembering what it felt like to be human. I don't know where the path leads, or what waits at the end, but I know it takes things, and leaves behind only shadows made of dust. Tomorrow night, I'll follow it, step for step, and if I don't come back, if all that returns are ashes pressed into earth, please don't wait for me. Don't follow. Not all trails are meant to lead home.